Yeah, they're still the same. 24 and.
But the dash got smaller is why you get the 4 more quarts.
Can you eat some more? Okay. Can you eat some more? More ice cream?
So what do you got?
What?
What do you got in store for us?
Well, I have a real popular flavor at the store. It's Oreo Crunch. Obviously, Oreo and Nestle Crunch. Pretty basic ice cream, but it's real good. Okay. Oreo Crunch. Does anybody remember if we took 1 quart out of this, or is this still 5? So I guess we'll measure.
Same capacity.
How long what kind of shelf life do those bladders have?
Oh, there's a good question. That's a good question. You're welcome. That's probably the first good one. What's the shelf life of the bladders? Frozen or thawed?
Well, I didn't know you could freeze it, so I don't know. How is it when they come in?
I get a delivery every Tuesday morning of bladders. And he generally brings me, I don't know, 7 boxes, 10 boxes. And I tell him what to leave out and what to freeze. And he'll take whatever I need to make ice cream that day, he'll leave out. And the rest he'll put in the freezer. In the freezer, it'll last till your grandkids go get it. On the shelf, it'll last, you mean, or in the refrigerator?
In the refrigerator, yeah.
Just put cream in the refrigerator and you tell me. When you go like this,
Yeah.
that's too long.
But does it come with expiration date?
It's a couple months.
No, not in the refrigerator, no.
Yes, it is good.
No, sir.
Yeah, you keep arguing.
Where's
Where's the box that he got that from? Go look at it.
I make ice cream for a living, and I got to tell you, I wouldn't put this in the refrigerator for a few months at all. No way, no how.
And freezing it doesn't.
Freezing it doesn't matter, no. When you freeze this stuff, it's rock hard. It's like an ice skating rink.
Normally it'd be no more than 3 weeks, right?
No, it's more than
You know what?
What?
Go buy his book.
It's on sale.
Do you have to thaw that bladder out in the refrigerator?
Well, what I do is I tell the girls, knowing what I have to make the next day, I tell them to leave it out, which means that they're going to take the box out of the freezer, open the box, and put the bladders in the sink with water. And you know what happens the next day? If you put, say, 3 bladders, 4 bladders in the sink, I have a big sink, then when you come in the next day and you fish through the water, there's big chunks of ice. This stuff is so cold when you freeze it, amazingly cold. So, but most of the time it's ready. If they do it, they leave there 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night. By the next day, not in the morning, but by the next day, lunchtime, I'm ready to use it. If it's still got a little frozen stuff in it, I simply take a big container and I hold it and I cut it with a scissor and it goes in there and then just swirl it and it'll break up any remaining pieces of frozen mix.
So 12 to 14 hours in the sink of water to thaw it.
That's a numbers question.
Well, actually not. What did I say? They do it at 10 o'clock and it's ready after lunch.
Yeah.
Well, the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
that's-
thawing a frozen turkey.
So that's 14
Right,
hours.
right.
That'd be after 14, yeah, okay.
Maybe different where you live.
Huh? 14 hours is 14 hours.
Different temperature in your store, different humidity floating around, different water temperature in the sink, different volume in the sink, bigger sink with more water, it'll thaw faster. A lot of stuff going on here.
I can see that. There's a lot to learn.
Okay, what we're going to make is Oreo Crunch. I thought that everybody makes Oreo cookie ice cream, so let's go the extra mile and make Oreo cookie ice cream and Nestle Crunch in one ice cream. And conveniently, this works out to half a batch, which is what we're making. So that works pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into the machine or on the floor. You know, I work under bad conditions here. No spatulas, no scoops. Okay, we get the point.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Jeff?
I was saying you're the best video guy on the planet. Okay, we have the mix in here. We have how many quarts? And now we're going to add this much Oreo cookies.
So did you buy that at the store? Did you buy it at a wholesale?
What?
Did you buy that at the store or at a wholesale place?
Restaurant Depot. Restaurant Depot. Which does that qualify as, a store or a wholesale place? So the Nestle, the cookies, you don't care. They don't care, Steve. Any questions? Yes. Oh, man.
What?
Have him ask it. What? What's the question?
You put half a bladder in, and then what size container does it output?
What?
You put half a bladder of mix in.
Yeah.
What size container does that output?
How much are we going to get?
Thank you. How much we gonna get? How much we gonna get?
How much?
Well, when at the store, I put in a bladder, 10 quarts, 2.5 gallons, right? Right?
Yes.
And we get out 6 or 7 gallons. So here we're putting in half as much, so we should get 3.5 gallons. All right, that's good. The big question is, I have a 24-quart machine. How many gallons is that?
6.
So how can I get 7 out?
More air.
The machine only holds 6. How do I get 7? Sometimes 7.5. How does that work? Mull on that tonight.
Well, he said they really hold more.
No. Here's, well, not that much. Tell you how that works. That works because, and somebody asked this before, as I'm taking it out, it's still working, isn't it? It's still working.
Yes.
So the first tub I use 1 gallon containers. The first gallon containers is a little more dense than the last one. Not that noticeable, or is it? It's a little bit, right? Maybe. That's a good answer, maybe. So when I'm having a party, private, at my house, we get the first gallons.
Yeah.
You come in and buy the 7th gallon. I couldn't tell a difference.
Yeah.
I tried and I can't tell a difference. But I realized that if I'm getting 7 gallons out of a 6-gallon machine, something's going on.
You're doing good.
Well, doing okay.
Yeah.
I do okay. So Does anybody agree with me that this is the perfect machine to advertise in the Rob Report for upscale families?
What, that one?
I think so. I'd like to have one in my house. It's like having a great cappuccino machine in your house.
But how do you buy a mix on a small scale?
How do you what?
Buy a mix on a small scale.
Funny story. You want to hear a funny story? When I first started, I had the 6-quart machine, and I didn't need a lot of mix. So I called the company, which is in Boynton Beach, and I said, I need mix. They said, no problem. How many cases do you need? I said, well, I need 1 bag. Sorry, we're not going to sell that. We can't deliver it. It's cost prohibitive to do that. So I said, well, how about 1 box? He said, well, you can buy a box, but we're not going to deliver it. So I said, how about if I meet the truck? He said, that'll work. So now picture this in your mind. Clear your mind, picture this. At the time, I had a little BMW sports car, a Z4. And picture this. Sports car pulls off the side of the highway, pops his trunk. Truck comes behind him. Driver gets out, takes a cardboard box, puts it in his trunk. Guy from the BMW gives him cash. He drives away, he drives away. I was stopped almost every time. It's kind of obvious, but then I would open up the back, and the cop would always say to me, what's in the trunk? And I would open it up, and he'd see a box. He'd open the box, and there's white stuff in plastic bladders, But then after explanation, they knew. But I did have to meet the truck until I could get a delivery big enough. But remember, you can freeze it. Once you get, if you're rich and you can afford the machine, then you have a freezer in the garage. And you can just divide it. What I used to do when I had that machine is when I got it, I would divide it and then freeze it, so that I had defrostable units that I could use.
What would you freeze the small units in?
What?
What would you freeze the small?
Actually, I used gallon plastic bags, Ziploc gallon bags.
You yourself, you've never done like take your cream, take eggs, take vanilla bean.
What I did, the furthest make my own mix? No. But what I did is I made my own custard mix. I took the mix and I added 24 egg yolks, and I simmered it on the stove and blended it in for a long time at a very low heat. And I let it cool overnight, big pot. And the next day, I would bring that into the store and make custard out of it. It was outstanding, but I'm not doing that anymore.
Can you buy a chocolate base and a vanilla base?
They just started making chocolate bladders and white bladders, brown bladders and white bladders. We'll wait. The teacher. They started making chocolate ones and white ones. Now, Steve professes that the chocolate is cheap chocolate. However, I found a mix company where it's pretty good. Actually, it's so good that I have to temper it with white because it's too chocolatey and it overpowers everything I make with it. But they do, and it's same price, $1 more. It's no big deal. What? Well, I don't add syrup. I use Ghirardelli chocolate, the powder, the Ghirardelli chocolate powder. It's great stuff. Okay, this will be your last ice cream of the day, so make sure you eat a lot.
Get a big bowl.
Big bowl. Well, same bowl, a lot of ice cream. Because what you don't eat, he gets to keep. And you'll never get it again. Just remember, this is it. Last wind-up. What is this? Oreo Krunch.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about ready to roll here. Now you want the first batch, don't you? Oh, it's blocking you? Do I have to redo all that?
part after we're doing.
We'll have an editing party.
Will you tell us what mix you use, or you prefer not to do that?
What do you mean, what company I get it
Yeah.
from? Oh, sure.
Because you said that their chocolate is overpowering.
Well, not overpowering, but you want to be careful what you make out of it because that's a heavy chocolate taste.
Right.
It's pretty good. Now, you know, you could take it, just like you could take the white, put it in the machine with nothing else and get vanilla ice cream. You could do that with the chocolate. Not what you want to do, but it could be done. You don't want things like that. First batch, right? I want first batch. What do they sell like that? First batch. I want first batch. Okay, so let's try this, and that'll be your last one, and you're good to go for a factory tour, which is very well worth it. Woo! That's some ice cream. Oh, look who's first. Look who's second.
You in New York again?
Why did you not ninja the Crunch bars?
No need to. You'll see when you taste it.
Just a half of that size, please.
You'll get crunch in.
Thank you.
You should get crunch in every bite.
Half size.
Yeah, it was pieces. It was already pieces.
I think the first run's off the moonshine sleeve.
First batch, right?
Yeah, first
Oh,
run,
there you go.
first batch.
What are you doing? I have this down to a science here.
I can see I have a problem for you.
Thank you.
Sorry. There you go.
You know why it's so sticky here, Jeff?
Do I know why what?
You know who's responsible for my shoes squeaking like that?
Yeah.
Who?
Me?
Blame me.
No, I can't.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you from?
Seattle. Tacoma.
Seattle, Tacoma.
Yeah.
You have a bigger spoon?
How about a real fat straw?
It's like you go to Wendy's and they give you a straw. It's like whoever can drink this with a straw, they must have like
Good luck with that.
Throat freeze too.
See, I've never had that.
Concrete.
I know, right?
When you're using nuts like walnuts,
that's
pecans,
good, isn't
it's
it?
good.
Wow.
This is, I think, my favorite.
Wow, that's good. Oh boy, that's good.
Does all of the nuts have anything to do with making ice cream? Okay. I know.
Remember, keep it simple.
I know, and see, my mind
Keep it simple.
overthinks.
No, don't. Just
That's
keep
what-
everything simple. Did you get some? It's a real simple business.
So no overrun control on this guy here. You got, this is the first entry level with overrun control.
Now that's good.
Did you make this on the same machine you made the mint?
No.
Different machine?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Taste it.
Okay.
Come on, grab a spoon. Dig in.
All right, I will.
This is excellent.
Dairy metal, over the years, there was a different way of making the basher. They had to take, what was the change in the laws about that?
The entire industry used something called dairy metal, and it was a standard of the industry for
Generations.
about 80, 90 years.
Is that same as pot metal?
No. And it's a nickel bronze alloy, and if the machine wasn't kept clean, like the Italian ice people, the citric acid would make the surface bumpy, and then it would leach lead and copper. So the FDA banned it back in January 1st, 1996.
So it was a real threat or something you went overboard?
I compare it to a catalytic converter. Your car ran just fine without it, and I wonder how much it's really saving the environment. But you can't run it. You can buy the machine, anybody can sell it, but now when you go to put it into a new store, you're under 2017 rules and regulations. Those machines didn't have NSF, they didn't have UL, and they were dairy metal up until '96. So whether that dairy metal or not, they wouldn't allow you to run it.
So what do we replace it with? Just stainless steel, or?
You buy a new machine.
But I mean nowadays when you're.
Oh, it's all cast stainless steel.
all cast stainless steel. So dairy metal.
It's gone since we switched to cast stainless steel in '96.
That's very good.
It is good.
3 ingredients.
Yeah,
Mix, Oreos, Nestle Crunch. That's it.
love it. Nestle Crunch bars.
No, the package of crushed up Nestle Crunch, the overrun pieces.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
These are sold retail now.
I know where that's going.
Yeah.
I know where that's going.
Oh, good.
That's the simplest ice cream you'll ever see made. Mix, Oreos, Nestle Crunch. That's it. Nothing else. Pretty good. Did you all get Nestle Crunch pieces in there? Oreo flavor in there? And I don't even use the double thick Oreos in it. And now you can get Oreos in mint and pumpkin and, all that stuff. But I like this. This is what we grew up with, this Oreo cookie taste. I'm done.
Okay, so am I.
Are you?
Yeah.
No.
I did 3.
No, you better do more.
I don't have any more. You did 3, I did 3.
You better do
We
more.
are finished. We're out of flavors.
Okay, 3 pounds.
Thank you. Be happy to give you a tour of the factory if you like.
Sammy, come here, girl.